So, if you click this video, you're looking to lose some weight ready for this summer. This is also a goal of mine. I'm looking to get to around sub 12% body fat. And recent tests I've done have been shown readings of around 14%, so I've made pretty decent progress, and this is down to the information that I'm about to tell you in this video. Over the past couple months, I've grown an intimate understanding on why weight gain is such a problem for so many people. I've read countless books and studies on this topic, so I'm going to break down all the information that I gathered in this video today. So the big question is, when it comes to weight loss, is which is more important, diet or exercise? I believe this question is phrased in the wrong way. It's trying to get a binary solution. The philosophy behind this question is, if one of them is more important, let's say diet, then you should focus all your energy onto that and then forget about the exercise. I understand why someone would do this, but if you're looking to make the most gains possible, you should focus on both areas at the same time. If you focus on only one area, you're limiting the options that are available to you. So by focusing on diet and exercise at the same time, you're increasing the odds of you achieving your goals. So with that said, it's now just a question of how you should split your efforts between these two areas. And over my time researching this subject, it became pertinently clear that one area is more contributing to weight gain than the other. Bear in mind, once I tell you this factor, it doesn't necessarily mean that you should just focus only on this area. Poor diet is definitely contributing more to weight gain than sedentary lifestyle. Our food environment is swamped with loads of ultra-processed food, which has been designed to be overeaten and overconsumed. This is great for business, but bad for you. I'm going to go into more detail in this in just a second. I'm just going to touch on exercise for a minute. Cardio, while it is great for health and longevity benefits, isn't as effective as once thought for weight loss. If you burn 2,000 calories on a normal day, it might be safe to assume that if you do a 500 calorie workout on top of that, you're going to burn 2,500 calories in the whole day. But this often isn't the case in reality. Your body will reduce the amount of activity that you do outside of exercise, things like fidgeting, tapping your leg, or playing with a pen. This is known as non-exercise activity thermogenesis, and it basically just means the calories burnt as you're just fidgeting and not doing exercise but still moving. So your body has a hardwired mechanism to retain as many calories as possible. So as a result, a 500 calorie workout might not necessarily equate to a 500 calorie increase in calories burnt for the day. But obviously, like I said, it's great for health and longevity benefits, so you should always do it. I'd never recommend you to not do it. But if your main goal is weight loss, you should be focusing on more of your discipline, more of your willpower into the diet side of things. Most people will recommend you to do loads of calculations, calculate your basal metabolic rate, and then minus 200 calories off that to calculate a surplus. And then do even more calculations by tracking your calories every single day. This is just a monotonous grind, and it becomes draining after a while. It's a tried and true method of weight loss, but I think there's a much more efficient way that I've found. The method I'd recommend you to do is just cut out ultra-processed food. On average, in America, people eat 60% of their food from ultra-processed sources. And then at that point, it's fair to see why weight gain is such a problem, because this food has been designed to be overconsumed. So once you cut this out and you're eating clean food, you'll get fuller faster, and you'll be able to intuitively understand when you're eating enough. So you might have heard before that ultra-processed food is really bad for you, but you might not fully understand why. These big food companies have implemented their own scientific research to make tactics that will cause you to overconsume their products. Have you ever sat down with one of those big packets of crisps and opened it, and then about 5 minutes later, after you stop paying attention to it, all of a sudden, one thing leads to another, and you look down and it's pretty much empty? This isn't some kind of accident, it happens on purpose. The processing in which junk food goes through, whether it's milling, powderization, basically, all of this breaks down the structural integrity of the food. So in general, if you go down a junk food aisle, all of it will pretty much be soft, maybe with the exception of lollipops. But most of it is designed to be soft, so you don't have to chew. This means that you eat it a lot quicker and a lot faster, and you eat a lot more before you even get hungry. So obviously, you're going to eat a lot more calories than you actually need. They've used countless tactics just like this, and if I sat here and spoke about them all, it would basically make a video that's about an hour long. So for this reason, cutting out junk food will make life a lot easier for yourself, because once you start eating it, it's designed to just keep you hooked and keep going. This is part of the reason why I think cheat days are bullshit. You're putting this tiny crack in the door of temptation to just keep going and keep eating. So to cut out junk food, I don't think you should just focus on willpower and just resisting it while it's in front of you. This is just a waste of energy. You should instead cut out your junk food by not buying it at the shop. This is 10 times easier because there's less temptation, because you can't just eat it right there. Now, I know from experience, if you're a kid, this is easier said than done, because you're not necessarily the one doing the food shopping. The method that worked for me is to have a level-headed conversation with my parents, basically explaining how you want to lead a healthier life and you want to treat yourself better. You could also go shopping with them and point out foods that you want to eat more of and some foods that you think are bad for you. Just bear in mind, the nicer you are about this conversation, the more likely they are to be receptive to your ideas. So now you've cutting junk food out of your diet. Now, obviously, at this point, you can still overconsume. So what I do is I just try and keep the intention in mind that I'm just trying to lose weight. Whenever I make food, I make portions slightly smaller, and this works. It's much easier than tracking every grain of rice for every day. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please consider subscribing, because there's going to be plenty more where this came from.